Hi YouTube. The reason why I'm doing this video today is to talk about judgment. Sometimes we have a tendency to judge other people. Um, Something they don't tell you is the way that you judge other people. That same judgment will be sent back to you in that same manner. So to be careful with like the way we judge people or the way we cast judgment on people, not really knowing the full situation of a thing. um the Bible say, thou shalt not judge, for with what measure ye judge, it shall be judged back unto you. Matthew's 5. Matthew chapter 5, I don't forgot what verse. But no, it was not 5, it was 6. Matthew 6, I'm sorry, forgot what verse. But at the same time, sometimes it's hard not to cast judgment when you know what you know, or when you're totally accurate. In other situations, I really like to advise people to reserve their judgment unless they know the whole situation, like the complete details and everything, like knowing for a fact that the behavior was intentional and not done by, you know, dark psychology or puppeteering or some other means. Um, Reason why I bring that up is because a lot of times people are going through different things where people are trying to take control of the body, the mind, the spirit, and the soul. These are your enemies. They're trying to take control of the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul, trying to destroy you. So they use different tactics. They use different things. Um, you're telling a person one thing, they may say, "Oh man, that sounds crazy," or "That sounds insane," or they're trying to use the fact of saying that you're crazy to cover up what they're actually doing. See, people will use that against you too, because of certain situations. I'll give you a perfect example with a situation with me. I have been dealing with rape situations, but because I cannot point out the suspect, the assailant, or the person that's actually committing the act, they're trying to say, "Oh, well, this is crazy. You're crazy." But we have proof. We got an enlarged vagina. We have a STD. You guys continuously refuse to do a rape kit, so it means that there's some involvement there with you all. Um, and you constantly keep trying to say this person is crazy. Truth be told, you all are guilty. You have some knowledge. You have something that's showing that you are aware of these situations taking place, but you refuse to deal with them. I'm not sexually active at all. I haven't been sexually active for years. But to some people, it may sound like, "Oh, well, wow, she's a little bit off. She's a little bit crazy." Because if you can't name the person that's doing this, or you can't pinpoint the person, how can you say that this is happening? Well, circumstantial evidence. I'm not willingly sexually active, but for a person to catch an STD and say they're not sexually active, there's some form of sex taking place there. So that's circumstantial evidence. For the denial of a rape kit, no one should ever be denied a rape kit at any time. That's circumstantial evidence stating that you are aware, or you are somewhat conspiring with certain people against me with this situation. Victim Services, PBSO, I don't care who the hell it is. I just call it like I see it. That's circumstantial evidence. The fact that you never have a dashboard cam when you pick a person up to sit up there and call yourself Baker acting them, when they have made numerous reports of harassment, that is enough circumstantial evidence to say that you are definitely involved and you are well aware of the situations that are taking place, but refuse to resolve or to do your job to stop them. But in judgment, when other people hear this, because they may be in law enforcement, like I was, they may be in certain situations start to sound a little bit crazy to you, you know? I remember when I was working in law enforcement, I would sit up there and I would tell inmates, you know, when they're acting out, man, just chill out, man. Just do what you got to do. I never understood how angry that had to make them until I actually had a person falsely Baker Act me and then tell me that same thing, and I was angry as hell. I never knew how angry that would make a person. You know, I always thought that I was solving the problem, calming the person down, trying to get through the situation, have an easy day. And truth be told, I was part of the problem more than anything else by just saying certain things. Um, but at that time, I, you know, oblivious, dumb, um, not fully aware of all situations. So, you know, I really can't say I'm blameless. I'm just saying that, you know, not rushing to judgment, not rushing to, you know, get involved in certain situations, because a lot of these situations are bad situations that you're not even aware of. You're just walking into it. You're an innocent party walking into another person's um, situation that they started up, and you're oblivious to it because, you know, you do everything by the book. So you're a little dumbfounded because you're used to doing everything by the book and you thought that everybody else did it too. And even though you know everybody else don't, you stuck on stupid because you're thinking that they do. So your judgment is a little bit flawed and a little bit messed up. um it's a number of things that I have issue with, you know, talking to my children right now about dating and not having sex and knowing that they are in a dumbfounded state, because obviously they can't be thinking for themselves. Somebody else has to be thinking for them, that don't have their best interests at heart. Because when you hear your mother saying, look, I'm not sexually active, but I have an STD, and she's encouraging you to not be sexually active, to not get involved into that lifestyle. We're in the middle of a lot of things taking place in the community, and to be careful. But you have other things, puppeteering and using dark psychology to take them out of thinking for themselves. You know what I'm saying? The moment you hear, you know, women that's not sexually active catching STDs, the last thing a woman with good sense, or even a child with good sense, is gonna do is go have sex. So you can tell that's like a dumbfounded state. They're trying to keep you in a dumb, foolish state where you can't really think for yourself and stuff like that. You're in a daze where you're not really thinking correctly for yourself. Certain things are taking place around you and you really are in a daze. Even me now, I mean, I can honestly say to a certain degree of being somewhat in a daze, because you're not really thinking clearly as you should to really address the situation the way you want to address it, because of certain things just impacting you mentally, physically, emotionally, the atmosphere, so many different things playing subliminally in your head that you can't even focus to actually deal with what you need to deal with. It's so much, you know, that I tell young women, like, I know for a fact young women could be good young women, good girls and everything. You hook up in a relationship with a young man, you know, and this young man you hooked up in a relationship with, he on dumb. I'm just gonna call it like what it is. He's on dumb. And the moment you hook up in a relationship with this individual, they're trying to put you up under this dumb, and now you stuck on stupid because you're up under him and he can't think for himself, and you can't really think for yourself because they got you up under this person, and you're not thinking logically. And he's sitting up there, he's saying all this type of stuff, you know, and you really can't register enough to say, look, me and you are not gonna work. I don't think you are the type of man that I want. You just sit there in a dumbfounded state, just staying with this person because of whatever reason. So just I'm and this is not really a judgment. This is actual fact in which I have interpreted and witnessed. I'm not judging you. I'm just interpreting and witnessing what I personally seen with myself, with other people, and stuff like that. But at the same time, to each his own. I do this video pretty much to encourage you and to like tell you to do the best you can for yourself, and to try to help people as much as I can, as well as help myself, because there's no telling what may take place. But these videos are really intended to wake you up to what's really taking place.